Hello, welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings. We generally like to talk a load of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general, and in this video we're going to be talking about the new expansion for Tapestry. We're going to be talking about the Arts and Architecture expansion, and in this expansion you're going to be getting a new sideboard, more cards, you're going to be getting a few tiles to chuck on your income tracks, and you're generally going to be getting more stuff. So in this video we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules. We'll be telling you what we do like, we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Tapestry Arts and Architecture is worth your time or bother today and in the future. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel if you ain't already. Hit the like button, comment, all that bollocks, and we'll see you after this. Bollocks. So this is a more stuff expansion. The first thing you're going to get in this is more tapestry cards. It gives you basically a massive wad of tapestry cards to go through. So you might end up playing with the National Parks card. And it says, in this era, instead of playing an income building or a landmark in your capital city, you may place it on a territory you control. And if you do, then you'll get to roll the black or the red die. That's lovely. Or you might end up with the plague. How very topical. And it says, when played, draw a random civilization, either replace one of your current civilizations with it and gain a resource, or discard it to gain 10 victory points, right? Or you might have the political posturing. Bloody hell, it's like a Nostradamus prediction, isn't it? And this says, when played, place one of your tokens on the first available square of an achievement you haven't yet achieved and gain the corresponding victory points. So next thing that Tapestry Arts and Architecture is going to give you, it's going to give you some advanced civilizations to mess about with. There's Cloud City, and this one allows you to move up to 2 income buildings individually from an incomplete district to a different district. That's nice, isn't it? Or you might end up with the Swamp, and it says lily pads count as completed plots, but they may be built over, and at the start of your final income turn you lose 2 victory points per visible lily pad. So you've got to cover up the bleeding lily pads. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Or you might play with the Canyon, and it says if a cactus is completely surrounded by buildings and impassable plots, it counts as a completed plot and becomes impassable. Otherwise, cacti are regular plots. You may place buildings and landmarks on them, right? So this adds sort of a little bit more complexity, not too much. I mean, it says advanced, but I'll just chuck these in anyway because they're really not that difficult to play with, right? So following on from this, you're also going to have some new civilizations. You might end up with the Gamblers, and it says at the start of the game, with this civilization, at the end of your first income turn, reveal 3 tapestry cards, play one with a when played ability on top of the Maker of Fire and resolve the ability, and discard the other revealed cards. If you reveal no valid cards, add one of the revealed cards to your hand and discard the rest, right? So that's a little bit of an Amber Gambler type thing, isn't it? Or you might end up with the Renegades, and this gives you a nice little track to use, and it says start with a player token on the start position of the Renegades track, and when advancing the track where you would gain the benefit, you may ignore the benefit and bonus if applicable to advance on this track. And this track, if you get up to the last one, will give you a whopping 20 bloody victory points. Whoopee-doo. So there's also a few tech cards that you could chuck in. You've got some inspiration tiles that you put over the top of your income track, and this gives you better bonuses. But the main draw of this expansion is the extra track, the arts track, that you're going to be using as a sideboard, right? And this operates in exactly the same way as the other 4 tracks, but it gives you extra bonuses, right? I mean, the standout thing for the first era of this track is the 5 victory points. Everyone's going to be going for that. They're going to have to endure the mind-numbing banality of drawing a tapestry card first, but you're going to get those 5 victory points. And then this new track introduces something called masterpiece cards, right? These are abilities that you're going to be using during your income phase, so it's in your interest to get on this track as quickly as possible. These will give you abilities that are sort of similar to the abilities that are dotted around the other tracks, yeah? These mean that you get to use them during your income phase, right, of which there are only, is there 3 or 4? So you're going to get some extra landmarks. You're going to get a 20-sided die with this game, which replaces the green die that was in the original core set, yeah? And that's about it. That's about all that you greedy bastards are going to get in this set. So what do we like about the Tapestry expansion, Arts and Architecture? So the first thing that we really like about this expansion is it adds loads more variety. Not only have you got a load of new tapestry cards, you've got a load of new tech cards, you've got that extra arts track that's going to give you even more options, and it's going to blow wide open the amount of spaces that you can go to. It's going to decrease the competition for spots on the other boards, and depending on how you play the game, that's either welcome or it's not welcome. And for us, that's welcome because we usually play with the full 5-player count anyway. So the second thing that we really like about this, and we've already basically mentioned this, is that the extra track with the masterpiece cards gives you extra rewards, not only on the turn that you're going to be taking them, but it's also going to give it to you on your income track. So like we said, it's in your interest to get on this track as quickly as possible, get those masterpiece cards in quick, because they're going to be giving you extra stuff that you wouldn't necessarily have had during your income phase when you go for them tapestry cards, right? And the third thing that we like about this is that it gives you these landmark tokens that you can put over the landmarks that have already been taken off the board, right? So that stops you from hunting through all the models, trying to match it with a little tiny grey illustration, yeah? So this makes life a little bit less migraine inducing. So what don't we like about Tapestry Arts and Architecture? So the first thing that we don't like about this, and this is the main thing that we don't like, is that this expansion takes the whole tapestry thing over 100 quid. So if you think about it, the core set of Tapestry retails for about £70. Then you add on the Plans and Ploys expansion, which is about 25 quid, and then you add this on for another 25 quid, and you're talking now £125 for the whole Tapestry experience, right? And it's our opinion that the Tapestry is not a £125 game, so that's a real downer. When you're going into the realms of £100 for a game, that's going to push people out, and it's going to make this game fully accessible only to people who have got the necessary funds to buy it, and that's a bit of a downer. So the next thing that we don't like about it is the inspiration tiles don't really link with the game thematically in any way. They're just a random thing that you're going to be chucking on top of your income track, and whilst they're sort of quite nice to have, they give you extra bonuses. They just seem a little bit random, and like it's like something that's thrown into the box just to pad it out a little bit, you know. But it would have been nice to have something that you could link thematically to the game. I know that Tapestry is basically an abstract game, but these inspiration tiles are just a bit of cardboard with some icons on that don't really mean anything, don't sort of anchor themselves to the game in any way. It would have been nice to add something that maybe brought a bit more theme into the game, yeah? So the last thing that we not really bothered about with this expansion is the 20-sided die. I mean, why? The other die worked quite well, didn't it? I mean, why introduce a 20-sided die? Okay, some people are going to say, well, it's going to increase the probability of you rolling something you want. Well, actually it's not, is it? Because with more sides of the die, you're going to decrease the probability of rolling something that you want. Again, it just seems like it was thrown in there to pad the game out, and these sort of things add to the cost, don't they? I mean, I could have lived without that. It's not essential by any stretch of the imagination, and it's just a little bit weird that this is in here. So yeah, there you go. So to summarise, is Tapestry Arts and Architecture worth your time and bother today and in the future? So we are going to say no. It's weird because this is like a perfect expansion if you think about it. Perfect expansions for me give me more stuff, right? Loads more options, loads more variety without adding to the complexity. I know there's these advanced civilizations, but they're not that advanced, right? And there's no added complexity. This one gives you the extra board, doesn't it? Gives you those extra cards, those extra tapestry and technology cards. Gives you more options with the city maps, right? And of course you've got those lovely miniatures that bump the price of the game up to over 120 quid, which is why we can't recommend Tapestry, because it bumps the price up to a level where we probably wouldn't have paid that much money for it, yeah? Tapestry is not a £125 game, and for that reason it pushes people out the market, wouldn't it? I wouldn't have minded like a budget version of Tapestry where you swap out the models for tiles and they would work just as well, wouldn't they, by placing them in the relevant spots, and then you'd even have the name of the actual building on the tile instead of hunting around through this myriad of lovely models, and that does my head in as well. So yeah, Tapestry is just too expensive. It's too much money. Regardless of what's in the box, I can't recommend this expansion unless A, you are Philip Green and you're still raiding those BHS pension pots, or you are a hitman who is due a $1 million wage at the end of the month, right? So there you go. That's Tapestry Arts and Architecture. Remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel if you ain't already. Hit the like button, comment, and all that bollocks. And we'll see you next time.